Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to this beautiful pick card that we have today. So we are going to be discussing what you should expect for Leo season, which is right around the corner. Happy birthday to all my Leo babies. And for those of you who are not Leos, this energy you can still embody by focusing on building your confidence, being a bit more creative, romanticizing your life. Leo does represent romance. So I think that this Leo season is going to be really great for everybody. I'm very excited. I do love me some Leo season, despite what people might think, despite the discourse online. I think it's going to be really beautiful. So take some time to pick pile 1, 2, or 3 and meet me at your message. Hello, pile 1. So let's get into what you should expect for Leo season. So first we have, this is Archangel Michael, and it says perseverance, success in conflict, overcoming adversity. And the 9 of Swords, which says purification, protection from the impious and religious sentiments. Impious is another word for deceitful. If you don't know, now you know. Okay, so let's get into it. So the Chariot in tarot definitely represents an energy or you as a person that is being led by your intuition. The Chariot is ruled by Cancer. It's an energy that, because you think about the moon, it's in one zodiac sign for every 2-ish days. So it's like, it's kind of representing like you're embodying a lot of different things at this time. And it's very important to really flow through your emotions, allow them to really come out. Since it is Leo season, it could be something that's very creative. Cancer being the home, could be redecorating, making your space feel a bit more comfortable, getting rid of things that have maybe not the best memories attached to it. Cancer representing like memories with the Chariot. Also, again, you can absolutely call upon Archangel Michael to assist you with, identifying what needs to be cut away, because, he does have his flaming sword. But whatever it is, it feels like it will offer you a lot of success. Because with the 9 of Swords here, it feels like there's something around you, something in your energy, someone in your circle, potentially Cancer being family. There's that. That is causing you a lot of anxiety. Maybe there's specific conversations that you need to have. Also, sometimes Leo energy, it is very confident, very bold. But I think with Cancer, maybe there's a conversation that you need to have with your family, considering the fact that Leo energy kind of does get a bad rep. Because again, a lot of people can't handle the boldness and the directness of Leo energy and the confidence even. So maybe, and also with the 9 of Swords, I believe it's the energy of Mars and Gemini. So there could be a lot of like aggressive thoughts, Gemini kind of coming into your head consistently, and it's like keeping you up at night. So whatever this stressor is in your life, I think you do need to be bold and have that conversation with that person, or you might need to just completely cut that person out, or maybe just get some distance from them. I will say I recommend, maybe journaling things out before you have that conversation, so that way you can be very precise with what you want to say and how you want to say it. But again, I think that, and also I could see like with the Leo energy, this energy to be like super prestigious and super, life of the party-esque, and I feel like no one probably can see the side of you that is very anxious, is kind of like, fighting these demons in silence. So maybe that's something, maybe you need to be a bit more honest about where you are on a mental and emotional level. Also maybe not so forgiving as well. Leo energy, even despite what people may think, Leo energy is actually very, very caring. It represents the heart space. Like they literally wear their hearts on their sleeves, and sometimes it just kind of take them to open up a bit. There's a lot of things to consider. Either maybe you do need to keep to yourself for a minute until you kind of get a very clear image about what you want to say and how you want to say it. Also, the other thing is, Leo energy is very, very creative. I think I said this like earlier in the message. if you are wanting to do something very creative and for some reason there is someone in your family, someone close to you that maybe doesn't see what you see, again, you could have that conversation with them to, show them like, hey, maybe you laughed at this thing that, I was really into and it hurt my feelings or something like that, whatever that might be. But also, again, maybe at this time, whatever you're working on, whatever you're interested in, whatever you're passionate about, be confident in that, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing about creatives, is that sometimes people don't see your vision until sometimes it's too late. And I think that, again, having the confidence to just continue working on what you have, even despite what people might think, what they might feel, because at the end of the day, this is your experience on this earth, nobody else's. And again, I think with the chariot and it, it's like, it's interesting because if you see traditional images of the chariot, it's the chariot and like these sphinxes, but the sphinxes are not connected to the chariot. So it's like your intuition in this, imagery is literally leading you to the best thing for you. And again, if they're with the Nine of Swords, even if people are, stressed about showing this side of you, it's also kind of possible that maybe people won't judge you. You know what I mean? Maybe people will support you and stuff like that. Or maybe you need to set those firm boundaries, like, this is something I'm really interested in and I need your support. Like, that's something to really consider, being a little bit more vulnerable or not. I don't know. There's a lot there's a lot that's kind of coming up with that, but let's get into your other two cards, and we have peace and we have isolation. So whatever you're working on, you probably do need to just kind of sit in silence for a bit, just to kind of get your thoughts together, to see how you want to move forward. And then kind of go from there. But I do feel like whatever this idea is going to offer you a little bit more peace. However, one of the, I want to say, consequences of, going after this idea, could be isolation. And maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe there are specific people that you do need to get rid of. Like I said earlier in the video, maybe like a deep cleaning of your space, of who's in your life at this time, who's pulling on your energy. Leo energy is very heart-centered. So maybe there's been people who you've given too much energy to. Maybe that's one of the reasons why, with the Nine of Swords, it kind of shows someone who was like up at night and stressing, not getting much sleep. So that could potentially show how you've been giving people too much of yourself and maybe not being replenished in the same way that you get, which is and again, that could be a conversation that you could have if it doesn't quite go the way that you would like it to. I think that might be your sign that you need to prioritize your peace over being the life of the party. Very Leo energy. Your peace is extremely important. And again, if you are doing something very creative, definitely express to people, hey, I need to kind of be alone right now just to kind of focus on what I'm working on. I'm very excited about it. It's something I'm really into. Depending on how people react to that will let you know where they stand with you, in all honesty. Because sometimes people, unfortunately, if you want time to yourself, sometimes people feel rejected, even though that's not the case. And that's kind of unfortunate. But it's like, in reality, you cannot control how people are going to react to specific things, And again, with the life of the party energy, there's no amount of joking and entertaining people and showing people that you love them. There's no amount of that's going to kind of control how people see you and perceive you. That's kind of the thing. You think of like Leo is definitely like the celebrity. And a lot of celebrities are very polarizing. You know what I mean? A lot of Leos are very polarizing. And it is what it is. Some people love them. Some people think that they're super arrogant. Some of them are. But they're very interesting individuals. You know what I mean? But also, again, I think Leo the lion embrace more cat-like tendencies. Typically cats, unless you have a very clingy one, I know mine is, at this time sleeping a foot away from me. Love my sweet baby. And he's an orange cat too. But embrace more cat-like, energies, like where cats take time to recharge, kind of like in a corner somewhere in their little bed. And then when they're ready to see you, they're like, hey, I want cuddles, I want a hug, that kind of vibe. So maybe also finding that balance, maybe not completely cutting people off. Maybe you have to, I don't know. But maybe you need to kind of flow through these moves of like, I want to be the life of the party, but now I'm tired and I want to go home. But, so let's get into the last card, and it is Gorilla. So take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. Yeah, so Cancer being family. So that's very interesting that came out as well. But yeah, but also I think definitely, if you do need to listen to specific family members, definitely do that as well. I will say, no shade to Leos, sometimes they can be very egocentric, as if like if someone does something and like, say for instance, like I said, if someone wants some time alone, it's like, okay, maybe I did something wrong for them to not want to hang out with me. And it's like, that's not the case. So all that to say, I think really communicate with those that you love about where you are right now, what's going on, even if it's something mental health related. Definitely talk to a licensed therapist, or you can book a reading with me. That is another option, and we can really get to the root of what's kind of going on beneath the surface. But I do think, again, definitely communicate with the people that you love, extend compassion, but also being mindful of if that is not reciprocated, then you kind of know where to put that person. I think that sometimes people are very quick to cut certain people off, but I think that sometimes it's more so like, maybe I just need a little bit more distance from you, or I have to put you in like a specific category. Like there's some people where you can do like spontaneous friend activities with them, and then there's some where it's like you got to plan like 3 days ahead. Or there's some where, they have just the right amount of energy to go to a concert with you, or another person who, let's go to a movie and let's discuss it after, or let's go to Barnes and Noble. Like there's friends can be in different categories, and that's okay. You don't have to kind of give everybody the same energy and expect that in return, because maybe that's not who they are. And also maybe thinking more compassionately about how you approach these specific relationships. Not trying to control how they perceive you, not trying to control or fit this person. Like an introverted person probably doesn't want to go to a concert. You know what I mean? Maybe they do. I don't know. You never, but that's just an example. So I hope that this information, this reading, helps you during this time, and have fun during Leo season. It's very creative time, a lot of beautiful energy, summertime, like really get out there. But also, if you need to be more like a cat and just appear when you want to appear, you can do that too. So until next time, bye. Hello, pile 2. So let's get into your reading. So up first we have, oh god, Liuya. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry, Angel. So this is a 2 of Cups, the swiftly hearkening god. Fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. Then we have 8 of Swords, Mebahel. Sorry. God, protector and savior, truth and justice, protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. So definitely watch out for that. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but anyway. So we do have the 2 of Cups. Definitely, you know what? Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups representing 2 energies coming together. This could be marriage. Oh my god. Okay. This could be marriage. Maybe you need to sign. This is so crazy. Maybe you need to get a prenup if you were trying to get married. And I don't mean that. Okay, so the thing is, like with prenups, I think there is a lot of misconceptions around it. But basically, if you were to sign a prenup, that basically means that what you come in with is what you leave with. So being very, because Leo season is the vibe of, it can be very charitable. It is an energy that wears its heart on its sleeve and will do whatever it can to really give people what they need. However, Leos do love the attention, and sometimes it could be not the best attention, or they could attract, because you think the Leo is the sun. It attracts good and bad, because it's like you think you're a light in the darkness. You're going to attract moths, and then there's other creatures in the night that you're going to attract as well. So you need to make sure that whoever is entering into your close circle, they're meant to be there for the best reasons. And I think intuitively, you probably know who's there and who's there for you and who isn't, based on the conversations, based on how they move, based on maybe even what other people are saying. Maybe there have been warnings about this person or people. But I think be very, very, very cautious. And maybe it could even be like not marriage, but with the Two of Swords, it could be like a business partnership, or it could be some partnership in any sense of the word. Leo energy does represent like creativity and stuff like that. So maybe there's like a creative project and you want to collaborate with someone. And again, just kind of making sure that you feel comfortable associating yourself with this type of person, and also being straight up with that person. Like, I think with the Eight of Swords, or Mabehel, I hope I say that right, Angel. It's like the energy of like feeling trapped by something. It could be by your thoughts. I believe it's Jupiter in Gemini energy, where there's a lot of ideas that you have that could be very abundant with that Jupiter energy. And again, fruition with the Two of Cups. But with this one, truth and justice, and you know what? That's the thing too. If people are trying to be very deceitful, the way that if you let them talk long enough, they will tell you their plans. You will find out eventually. And so maybe with the Eight of Swords, there has been a lot of like stress and anxiety about how to approach this person or situation. But it feels like this shows that you are very protected. I mean, clearly. And you don't really have anything to stress about. But if there is I think just be very, very careful with like signing contracts, getting into business with this person. I don't know what the hell is going on, but just be very mindful about what you're signing. And again, if it is marriage and you're not quite sure, or if you really just want to simply protect your assets, that is perfectly fine as well. And again, it makes me think of, I can't remember what reality TV show it was, but the woman wanted her husband to sign a prenup and he was like really upset about it. And it was like, no, I simply just want to keep what I already have and then keep it pushing. And that's all I want to do. And he got a little defensive and a little upset about that. And it took him quite some time to decide if he even wanted to sign the prenup. And it's like, a bit of a red flag, because if you do your research on prenups, it's not as bad as you think. And it was very cut and dry. I think that contract was only like 2 pages. It wasn't even anything serious. So all that to say, I think whoever you're engaging with, again, they could be a very genuine person, but you still want to get a prenup. That is also okay. I think, again, Leo energy can be like hard on its sleeve type of vibe. It can be very egocentric, so it kind of depends. But just keep that in mind. Or maybe if someone presented you with a prenup, it's okay. And again, prenups can be edited. It's not as long as like both parties agree to whatever. But again, just be very mindful of, you are the light in people's darkness, and you have to be very careful about who you are attracting, who wants to work with you, who wants to do creative projects with you. Because again, I don't know. Something about this feels very interesting. I don't know, very off. Something about, like maybe you get that feeling like this particular person, like they seem cool, but something's off about this person. Something's off about this situation. Maybe you want to like work with a specific brand and it's like, I don't know, what is it? And that's so funny. Like even on like Twitter and stuff like that, it's like, ooh, I want to support this person. I want to advocate for this person or this brand. But it's like, did they say something racist? Did they say something xenophobic? You have, like, at this day and age, you kind of have to, there's like a Excel sheet of questions that you kind of have to ask people. And even if you're dating, Leo is definitely romance. So maybe there's specific things that, You know what? That could be a thing too. Maybe with the Eight of Swords, you feel like you're not going to be able to like find someone of the like the with the Two of Swords energy that you can really connect with and be with. And maybe you have attracted people who have only wanted to leech off of the attention that you get. I think that eventually you will find the right person, but also being very mindful of you ignoring the red flags. And that's something that you will definitely have to take accountability for, because it's like, yes, you attract a lot of weird people, which is natural, especially if you give off a very radiant and beautiful aura, which I'm sure you do. But you do have to take accountability of accepting this person into your life. You know, of course, people make mistakes. It is what it is. But again, something to keep in mind. So let's see what the other two cards we got. We got growth. Yeah. And ideation. So like I said, you could have like a creative idea or want to do like a creative project and you want it to grow. But again, it kind of depends on who you're working with, if this person can actually support you in the way that you need to be supported. But also kind of thinking about, like, say for instance, if you're in a relationship with someone, they're not reciprocating the energy that you're giving to them, maybe you do need to expand in a different place. And also I think it's interesting that the Two of Cups says provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. So there could be a lot of really great ideas that you want to expand upon with the ideation, and just allowing things to really grow and evolve on its own, and, you know, really grow that specific thing. And it also could be like a relationship as well, you know, putting in the effort to grow that connection. But also, again, kind of thinking about how there's specific things that that you're looking for in a relationship. You know what? Something about this energy feels also like love bombing. Like someone, like in the past, you could have experienced a lot of love bombing, which I could see that because Leo does represent like romance and stuff like that. So it's like, and also again, thinking about how after maybe like a month or so, with men specifically, really all, you know what, really men and women, and everybody in between, if they are not genuine, that mask will slip. And it's so funny, this imagery, that mask will slip. So again, and maybe with the Eight of Swords, you could be stressing about, you know, should I trust this person or whatever, but it's like, nah, trust that first thought. Because again, what if later down the line you get married to this person, you have like contractual agreements with this person, and now, you know, should have had a prenup. Okay, so we have Groose. Interesting. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. So again, if you are, maybe at this time, you're just trying to get some more clarity about how to move forward, maybe dance a little bit, do some cardio, take like one of those dancing cardio classes. I know there's a few on YouTube, and they kicked my ass. I'm not even gonna hold you. They kicked my ass. Ooh, I was sweating, but it was good. It was good. But I think that could be very beneficial for you. I think right now, don't even worry about making specific decisions. I think really focus on what you want at this time. So if you are looking for a relationship or trying to cultivate something on a creative level, take your time. There's no need to rush. I think just really figure out what you want to do, because it's your life. It's your life. You're living it. Also with Leo energy, sometimes it can be very giving, but also can be very egocentric. I think right now you might need to be a little bit more selfish about how you spend your time and who you spend your time with. Maybe you do need to kind of spend some time alone just to kind of get some things together for yourself. And that's all that matters. So I hope that this reading helped you out. We went in quite a few interesting directions with this reading. So if you want any more clarification, definitely book a reading with me so we can see what the hell is going on. So, but until then, I wish you the best and wish you nothing but clarity on whatever you're dealing with at this time. So until next time, bye. Hello, Pile 3. So let's get into your cards. Let's see what Leo season has in store for you. So first we have the King of Swords, Liua, the Exalted God. Victory grants victory and protection from lightning. Wow. And then we have The Ace of Pentacles, Kathel, the adoring god, and divine messages drives away evil spirits and rules agricultural production. All right, so first with the King of Swords, this is an energy of someone who is very, very decisive and very strategic as well. So maybe Leo season is very, again, very creative, very much like life of the party and things like that. Maybe during this time, you need to be networking. However, I think that if you want to network successfully, maybe doing research, that sounds weird, but it's not. Maybe doing research on the people that you're going to be interacting with if you know of them, only because, like, again, if you're networking, you want to make sure that you kind of lock in that connection and make sure that they understand where you're coming from, that you're very serious about getting to know them, pursuing a career, doing all these little things. I think don't make it creepy. Don't make it creepy. Like, say for instance, there was someone who I was watching their interview, and so it was like the way that they really like admired the person that they were interviewing. Like, oh my god, I saw that you were working on this project for like 2 years now. Like, I would love to know where that is right now, or what are you working on right now? And then asking questions and follow-up questions, like really getting to know that person and really understanding how to have like a beautiful banter with that, because the Swords energy is communication. It's going to be Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So again, be very inquisitive. So I think just doing research on that person as if you're doing an interview, you're interviewing that person, like journalism type vibe. So, or it's like, oh my god, I saw you in this interview recently and I loved how you spoke about this and that and the third. And so I think just, I don't know, just really being very charming. Leo is very charming energy, very confident as well. Like, really speak to this person like, I want to work with you, I'm very interested. And I think that's such a beautiful way to approach a networking type of situation. Don't know where that's going, but with the Ace of Pentacles, typically it's depicted as someone holding a coin in their hand. Not someone, it's like a divine hand holding a pentacle or like a gold coin. So if you play your cards right, no pun intended, I do believe that you could get some sort of job opportunity or collaboration that you've been really wanting, and it could lead to like a very beautiful financial opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles, because you have the Ace of Pentacles and it leads all the way up to the King of Pentacles. So you definitely want to make sure that you can kind of build upon whatever you're working on at this time. But I think, again, if there is like a networking situation that you're doing, you need to be very mindful of how to approach specific things. And again, don't be creepy. Like, I saw that you were running with your dog on Thursday morning at 2 p.m. It's like, oh my god, keep it very lighthearted. It's like, oh my god, you look so great today. I really do admire you. I think you're just a really amazing person. And I saw that you did this, specific opportunity on this day. I think that's so beautiful. Could you tell me more about that? You know what I mean? Like, being very soft and very gentle, don't scare the hoes. Okay, so let's get to the other two cards. We have Cleanse. And oh my god, okay, we have Rejection. Oh, did not expect that. All right, well, let's get into it. This kind of feels, I'm still going on with like the networking. It also, it might not be networking. It could be a situation where you're dating or putting yourself back out there in the dating world, and you're just trying to start conversations with people. Just kind of, and that's the thing too with Leo energy, and it is a fixed sign, so it's like once you kind of lock in with that person, you're locked in for life, which I think is very Ace of Pentacles for sure. However, I think that when there is moments where there could be rejection, I think definitely, and it's orange, which definitely represents like confidence. Don't let rejection disrupt your confidence. I think, again, cleanse that, do whatever you can to kind of cleanse those mindsets out of your energy, that doubt, that that you're not worthy or not good enough to be with this person, to work with this person, or whatever. Maybe they're just not feeling you that day, and maybe you might not get the answer that you're wanting until later on, or maybe they did like you but maybe you just caught them at a bad time. That it kind of, it kind of happens. You never really know what people are dealing with in their lives, so that's something to keep in mind. But if there is rejection, there's a lot of moments where rejection is your protection. Again, with this Ace of Pentacles saying drives away evil spirits, maybe that person, maybe you thought that, based on social media or things that you saw about them, you admired them for a long time. But when you met them in person, it was like, ooh, you were actually like a nasty ass fucking person. So I think that's something to keep in mind. So again, I think being Leo season, being very open to new experiences, different types of people. I think Leo energy, sometimes it is like the celebrity or someone who's very popular. I think sometimes people can kind of put specific individuals on pedestals and they probably don't deserve to be there, but they're there. So I think, again, don't like overly glorify people without getting to know them first. So again, shoot your shot in whatever way that looks, but being very mindful of, if there is rejection, just making sure that you fully understand that you were still amazing, that you were incredible, talented, very charming, very lovable. But if this person isn't willing to get to know that aspect of you or work with you or whatever the case may be, it has nothing to do with you. Again, this could be a situation where rejection is your protection, like I said. So last card, we have the Mountain Goat. And it says, there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. It's interesting because I thought about like career and networking, and the Mountain Goat, which is typically ruled by Capricorn, and which represents career. The mountain goat is such a great symbol for Capricorn, because when you see them, they're like scaling a fucking mountain on their goddamn tippy toes. Like, it's such a interesting thing to witness. I think that definitely with the mountain goat energy, there is a level of determination. Also, again, with the cleanse energy, maybe you need to do like a spiritual cleanse. If you're interested in what that might look like, definitely book a reading with me, or comment down below if you want a little bit of help of how to do a spiritual cleanse. It's actually very easy. It's very, very easy. So definitely let me know what you would like, because I'm always here for you. But anyway, again, there could be something very out of balance in your life. With the King of Swords, I think it's a very decisive energy. So it's like, I know who I am, I know what I'm about, I know what I want, and I'm gonna go for it. Even if there is moments where I might experience rejection, I'm still going to continue to climb that mountain and find what I need to be successful, and whatever success looks like to you. And again, with the King of Swords, you will find victory. Also with this card, it says protection from lightning. That kind of makes me again, like, bringing it back to the rejection is your protection. Like, maybe there was something and it kind of, hit your ego a little bit with that Leo energy. And it's like, damn, I thought this was going to work out, but it didn't. You know what? And that's the thing too. Maybe you need to be open with the experiences. Maybe you do get to work with specific people, or maybe you get to date a specific person with that romance energy of Leo. However, it could be you're just here for the experience. You're just here to learn more about this person, more about your boundaries, more about how you should show up for yourself in specific situations. And just show up in general. Maybe being more cautious of, and I think with the King of Swords, like really analyzing your situation, your experience, and if this is something that you want to experience again in the future. So again, I think that's a very, very important to know. I think, again, it feels like this time in your life is supposed to be really adventurous and fun and spontaneous, and just, I think with Leo, funny enough, it is a very fixed energy. So it's like, don't get locked into something or someone too soon. Like, really allow yourself to get to know that person, that situation, and to see what that person can really offer you. Because again, Leos can definitely wear their heart on their sleeve, but it's like that person probably does not deserve your heart or your time and attention. So I hope that this message helps. And again, like I said, if you need a little bit more clarity, I'm here for you. The link is down below. But until then, I wish you all the best and see you next time. Bye.